preceding portion of Fox 43 AM Live is sponsored by Endeavor Private Wealth.
Well, Chris McGee, managing partner at Endeavor Private Wealth, is joining us for our latest segment on investing. Chris, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to be back, Chris. And I want to start out conversations about money between spouses now, between parents and their children as well, and between adult children and their parents may at times be challenging, I think, complicated, even contentious. In that vein, I'm curious as to your thoughts on issues related to conversations about prenuptial agreements now.
Dane, it's good to be back with you and our viewers. Prenuptial agreements can make for heavy conversation between two people who want to get married and others who want to advocate for certain financial arrangements in the upcoming marriage. A prenuptial, or prenup as it's often called, is a contract between prospective spouses that modify how state law may control the rights to income and property during marriage, and in the event that the marriage ends in divorce or death.
That sounds like it could take the bloom off the rose between a happy, soon-to-be married couple planning for the end of their marriage before it even begins. Why would that? Why would they want to spoil the moment?
I wouldn't say that anyone is trying to spoil the moment. I'd say a prenup gives them more control over their financial outcomes during and after their marriage ends, rather than leaving it up to the provisions and potential uncertainties of state law.
Should all prospective newlyweds have a prenup?
Any couple can enter into a prenup. However, these arrangements are more common when one person or one person's family has significantly more assets or debt than the other. When a family business is involved, or when there are special assets or heirlooms that they wish to remain part of their family legacy. Prenups can also help protect their children's inheritance if one or both individuals have children from a prior marriage.
And who generally initiates discussions about the need for a prenup?
Well, let me say it's not uncommon for the parents of a prospective spouse to introduce the idea. It's less likely, though, to be abrasive if at an otherwise joyful time if the parents have instilled in their child an understanding and appreciation for family wealth management considerations. Children may also initiate the discussion when a parent is remarrying or helping their parent to consider setting expectations for inheritance or insurance benefits, as well as financial support and obligation during the marriage, and division of property in the event of divorce.
Chris, any final thoughts you'd like to share with our viewers?
Yes, thanks, Dane. Prospective spouses should seek counsel from an attorney skilled in domestic relations law who can provide assistance in crafting an effective prenuptial agreement. The parties and their families may also require assistance from accountants and valuation experts to prepare necessary financial disclosures, and they may find it helpful to review their investment and wealth management plans with a trusted financial professional who can determine if the agreements they're considering will accommodate their near and long-term needs.
Well, Chris, as always, thank you for sharing your insights with us. And everyone, to learn more about Endeavor Private Wealth, visit EndeavorPW.com.
The preceding portion of Fox 43 AM Live was sponsored by Endeavor Private Wealth.